Hi, this is Alex Helmbrick, the Sports Information Director at Shattern State College, and I'm sitting here this afternoon with Shattern State men's basketball coach Brent Bargan. The Eagles had their second straight split on the road this weekend, dropping their first game at number 11 Colorado School of Mines 98-68. That was Friday in Golden, but then that was followed by a really nice 69-64 victory over Colorado Christian. Coach, just beginning real fast, it kind of played similar to the week before when you lost kind of a game to Pueblo that just got away from you in the second half. 87-52, but then that was followed by a really nice victory, 78-73 against UCCS. Same thing kind of held true last weekend. Colorado Mines just kind of jumped on you early and just ran away with it. But then your guys, to their credit, just responded and played really well against a Colorado Christian team that's played a lot better than their record indicates lately.
Well, I guess, going to Mines, we haven't played well on Friday for whatever reason, and I think a lot of that has to do with the quality of opponents that we played. I think Pueblo is an awfully good team, and Springs as well. But I think playing Mines, being 10th or 11th in the country, they showed that. We didn't play to our capabilities. We did some good things offensively. Shot 52% from the field and got to the line 20 times and turned it over less than our average. Did a decent job on the glass, played them even on the boards. We just did not defend very well, and a lot of that has to go to credit to them. They're a very balanced team. They've got great three-point shooters and very good guards. They've got some really good interior play, and so from that perspective, we just haven't, we had a hard time guarding. We didn't put forth the energy that needed to be done, and those guys, as far as them being Mines, really took care of the game and took care of their part and really knocked down shots, shot 58% from the floor and 47% from the three. And, that's good players making plays, but it's also us just not making them miss shots and playing. When we played them here, I think it was a 6 or an 8 point game, and we really played well and had a legitimate chance to win the game. And there we just didn't give much fight. It was a very disappointing effort on our part, especially at the defensive end of the floor.
Moala Tatua led Shattern State with 16 points. Chris Curtis had 10 points, and then Joshua Hatcher probably had his most effective game in the least amount of time that he's played this season. Just played 10 minutes, but scored 14 points. I believe went 4 for 5 from the field.
Yeah, he was 5 of 7 from the field and 4 of 5 from the line, and 14 points in 10 minutes is extremely efficient. Mo was doing a great job and led us in scoring and led us in rebounding, so it was kind of tough for us to get Josh a lot more minutes when those two guys were that effective in the post, or at least Mo was that effective in the post. And, I thought Josh is really coming along. He's got his niche now in the offense, and he understands where he's going and what he's doing, and he's been very productive for us. Keep him out of foul trouble. He's done a really nice job. He's an active post defender, and he's done a real good job of scoring the basketball, extremely efficient. I think on the weekend he was 9 for 13 or something like that for the weekend as far as from the floor, and anytime you're shooting 60% from the field, you're doing a heck of a job in being efficient.
Josh Hatcher is quietly kind of continued to climb up the scoring chart for Shattern State this season. For much of the season, he was kind of towards the bottom, but now he's 5th and 6th on that list, just putting together a nice string of games here. Coach, that was followed by a win at Colorado Christian, 69-64. Always kind of a difficult place to play. It's a smaller gym. It gets really loud there. They usually have pretty good student turnout, and that was certainly the case on Saturday. But really, the Eagles shot really well. I believe you guys were over 50% for the game, having a season high for the field for your team. But Colorado Christian certainly stayed into the game thanks to their free throw shooting.
Well, first of all, as far as the place to play, Christian is a tough place to play. It's it's now the smallest place in the conference as far as number of people and seating capacity, but it's got metal all over the place, and they don't have to have a lot of people in there for it to be a great home court advantage, and it was. They were coming off a huge win. Mesa beat them by 2, and Christian probably should have won the game a week ago, and then they beat Kearney on Friday night, so they had played 2 really good games in a row, and we knew they were coming in playing well, and we had to compete at a high level, and we did a great job of controlling the paint, scoring in and around the basket. And I think we shot 56% from the 56% from the floor. the difference was the free throw line. They made 27 free throws, and we only shot 25 free throws, so they made 2 more than we attempted, and that was a real big difference in the game. Had we shot a few more free throws or made a few more free throws, I think the number we shot was adequate at 25, but shooting 52% from the line is not going to win you many games. They really didn't score a lot in the second half outside of free throws. Over half their points in the second half were from the free throw line, and had we not fouled so much and put them on the line, I think the differential could have been a little bit more. But I was really proud of our kids. We opened up a couple of big leads of 12 and 13 points. They battled back. Actually had I think it was in 2 possessions, scored 8 points. They hit a 3 and got fouled, made the and one, so that was a 4-point play, and actually it was a 9-point because then the next possession they hit a 3, got a foul on the screen, and made 2 free throws. So they scored actually 9 points in 2 possessions, and it went from a 13 or 14-point game back down to a 4 or 5-point game, and really kind of turned the tide of the game a little bit back and forth. But I thought our kids really battled and competed, finished the game well, handled the pressure and handled the press at the end of the game, handled the free throws at the end of the game, and really managed the game well towards the last couple of minutes. And it's always great to get a road win. Road wins are tough to come by in the conference, and especially for our program. And it's great to split the last 2 weekends. It's a huge accomplishment for us.
The Eagles pretty much led the entire game against Colorado Christian, and really just had to make those free throws at the end of the game, as Coach mentioned, to put it away. Chris Curtis had probably his best game for Chadron State this season, scored a career-high 20 points for Chadron State, another nice day from the field, finished 7-9, and that was followed by a good shooting performance at Colorado School of Mines, where I believe he was 4 for 5 or 4 for 6. Moala Tatua had another nice game, and then Kevin McClellan hit a couple free throws there at the end to help salt the game away.
Well, I think, outside of our two of our starting point guard and our starting 2 went 2 for 11 from the field. And if you take those 2 guys out of there, you're talking about 23 out of 34. We've shot an extremely high percentage from the field. And anytime as a coach, you look at guys, Chris Curtis goes for 20 points and takes 9 shots. He's 7 for 9. Moala Tatua has 11 points and takes 5 shots. Josh Hatcher has another nice game and only takes 6 shots. Kendrick Holloman goes 4 for 5 from the field. Has 9 rebounds, just barely missed a double-double, and did some really, really good things. He was a very high-energy guy. It was great to have him back, and as far as his effort and his production was really good. So anytime you can get those guys in that 5 to 8 to 10 shot range and they're only missing a couple, you're awfully efficient. If you're scoring twice as many points as the shots that you're taking, that's a great night for you. And we had a couple of 2 or 3 guys that were in that category. The other great thing about that is we had a 20 and 11, but then we've got 2 guys at 8, 2 guys at 7, and a couple of guys in there at 6. And so we kind of spread the scoring out. A lot of guys contributed and did a lot of great things for us.
The Eagles, prior to last weekend, hadn't had a victory on the road this season. They now have had 2 in back-to-back weeks, so they certainly have some momentum, which is kind of coming together at the right time because they're about to play several of their last games this month, in the month of February, at home, where the Eagles are 4-3 overall. That begins this weekend when they host Western State College of Colorado and Colorado Mesa University. Coach, just real fast, I know that these are 2 teams that you've played already, that you played them on the first RMAC road trip of the season, kind of towards the the beginning of December, so you're certainly familiar with them. Both were pretty close games. Colorado Mesa defeated you guys 76-70, and then that was followed by a 70-57 game at Western State, a team that I've talked to you different times about, and you say that your squad and them are kind of similar teams. So it's going to be an exciting weekend here at home. What are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, we did what we needed to do, which was position ourselves, to win some road games and position ourselves back to getting into the conference tournament. And 5 of our last 7 games are at home, and we think in our last road trip we have a fighting chance to split again. So, if we can take care of our home court advantage and really play well at home, it won't be easy by any means, but if that were the case, if we could take care of our home and split, we would be a game or 2 above 500 in conference, which would get us in the conference tournament. And, right now we're kind of in a 4-team log jam. us being one of 4 teams, and all 3 of the teams that we're tied with come to our place yet in the last 5 games. We have a chance to play each one of those teams at home, and so this is a huge set of last 3 weeks in the season. This is huge, and this is where you want to be. You want to have a chance to control your own destiny, a chance to play for something down the stretch, and right now that's where we're at. As far as this weekend goes, Western State is playing really, really well, as is Mesa. They both beat Metro State last weekend. They're doing a lot of nice things. That both the teams coming in this weekend are 2 of the best defensive teams in the conference, both points allowed, defensive field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage allowed. So as far as I think they're both 1 and 2 and 1 and 3 in all 3 of those categories. So they're 2 of the best 3 teams in the conference defensively. So we've got to be able to find a way to get some baskets and hope that our energy and the energy from the crowd and the energy from the community and the gym will carry over to us playing a little bit better defense. We've played well at home. We've been exciting at home, and we just hope that will continue because these games are huge for us to be at home. We've got to be able to take care of our home court advantage.
All right, Coach. Well, it should be a good weekend for both the Shattern State men's and women's teams. They'll play double headers in Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference action. The women's games start at 6, and the men's games will follow. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Hey, thanks, Alex.